No, we're not. We're not recording. Oh, there we go.
Hey, what did you say when the...
Don't.
And welcome to episode 58 of Ripping the Rack. I am Brian doing the intro this week. On my left is that really old doofus guy that won some stuff. Hi, Tim.
Doofus. I love
Hi,
doofus.
Brian. Hi, Calvin. Hi, Marky.
Hi,
Up top
doofus.
is
God,
he is
it's like
our representative from the north, and the north remembers Mr. Calvin Locke.
Gentlemen, how are we?
Pretty
Good.
good.
And on the bottom right, we have Marky Pins. Mark, what's going on?
Nothing much, boys. How we doing over here tonight?
We are good. Timmy, what are we
Yeah.
going to talk about today?
I don't know. This is your show, dude. You
Not my
started.
show. You have all the notes. Like, you're like, okay, this is what we're talking about in the pre-call. And then you're like, all right, you do it.
So
That's a fact.
go. Let's see. What are we talking about? We're talking, we are going to talk a little bit about the mixed world / Candlepin for Cancer mixed tournament / national mixed something, whatever it was 2 weeks ago, now that Marky is joining us this week. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk a little bit
You just
about...
want to do it because you won. Like, we're
I
going to talk about it
didn't
every
say
day now
a-
for the rest of
I didn't say a word about it.
We'll have a special guest on next week as somebody who was also there, just so they can talk about how Tim won.
Go ahead. I apologize that I just keep winning shit.
Next week, our special guest will be
Tim?
Jim Tatero.
Wait, I'll shave next week, and then I
to
can
talk about his favorite memories of Tim Matero.
Lord.
Growing up as your twin brother, what was your opinion?
I hate
We'll do
you
that.
all.
We'll
I
do that.
hate-
Episode 69. We'll do it
Yes.
dedicated to Tim.
I hate you all.
Episode 69 is an airing of the legend of Timmy.
Yeah.
Yes, episode 69. Make sure to tune in. This will be a very, very special episode 69.
We're just
When we
gonna
get
talk
to
Tim and bowling.
I hate you all.
It'll be a
Hey.
really short.
It'll be about
episode.
cats,
Get it?
boobs,
Get it?
video games.
Fucking
It's
It'll be a
sports.
really short episode.
Oh, I wish we had a rim shot sound effect. Somebody needs to get an XLR board. We need sound effects.
We need sponsors.
Oh, good. That's true.
Anyway,
Yeah, anyway.
we will talk a little bit about the Leda tournament this weekend. And then we've got some questions so we can have some a wonderful episode of Log Letters.
Lock letters.
Yeah.
Lock letters.
Ah,
And
Lock letters.
Log Letters.
Lock letters. We could do a
we
four-part
are
harmony.
doing a hard stop at 45 minutes today.
You have the timer on?
Well, we're at 3 minutes and 15 seconds of you guys continuously shitting on me. So, hey, you know what? This will be a 45-minute episode of you guys continue just to shit on.
No, that's episode 69, the roast of Tim Matero.
it's true. It'll
Oh
be the
my
highest.
God.
It'll be the highest viewed
No,
episode we've
we'll-
ever had.
Okay, I was thinking like
We could have some
dedicate-
guests.
I was thinking we talk about Tim's like achievements. No, we'll do the roast of Tim Matero episode.
The roast of Tim
You know what?
Matero
Oh
would
my
be better.
God. Oh my God.
Here's what we'll do. We've got what do we have? 11 episodes, not counting this one. We've got 11 episodes remaining before episode 69. If you want to do a roast of Tim Matero, understand that I do get my fair share time.
That's
Well,
fine,
absolutely.
but
True
it's
with you,
three of
absolutely.
us to one of you, and it's fine.
Yeah, but
No,
Tim
it'll
can
be
the roast on
it'll be
TV.
like the Friars Club roast. Like,
Exactly. They
Like
were
Dean
the best
Martin and
things that
Sammy
were
Davis.
ever on television. If
and
anybody's
if
ever seen those old Friars
you
roasts.
guys want to get people on, send in your videos, folks, of the
Oh my
roast of
God,
Tim
we
Matero.
should. Oh my God, this
Oh
will be
my
the greatest episode ever.
ever.
Send
greatest
in your
episode.
send in. You know what? We'll limit it to 60 seconds.
Yeah,
60
1 minute
seconds.
Sure.
of
You get-
guest videos. Yeah,
you
nice
get
and
1
short.
minute
We'll
guest
keep it
videos.
really, really, really short.
You can send it to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com, and we will somehow figure out how to splice
God.
those in.
And honestly, folks, it is a roast. It's not just a straight shit on. There is an art to roasting somebody
Yes, there is.
correctly.
Yes,
You know,
there is.
let's do it. We've
Yes.
got 11. We've got basically 3 months to get this thing done.
Tim, you've done enough, and you've been around in this game, and your career has been documented and well enough where at
This
this
is gonna-
point in time, you deserve all of this.
This is going to be like
Every
the
little bit of-
Mankind in the Rock. This is your life.
I'm good with it. Let's have some fun with this.
Oh, good God. I cannot wait for people to find out. 60-second videos, people. Just send them to rippingtherack@gmail.com.
Ripping the Rack podcast.
rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. We will get them into the YouTube video the day after. Maybe the day after that. It might take a little bit to edit it in. But we will get them in, and this will be the best episode of Ripping the Rack podcast in history. In history.
God, it's amazing how fun this can be sometimes.
Oh,
I
it's a
can't
blast.
I
It's
can't
a
wait.
blast.
I can't
When-
wait to have my
We got 3 months to prepare this.
yes. And in my typical way, I will wait till the night before and then be like, oh shit, I gotta put something together for the response for
Yeah.
everything. So again, with more on this, we will definitely be sending this out multiple times beforehand to make sure people get their 1-minute videos, and we'll go from there. So coming soon, episode 69, the roast of the legend, Tim Matero.
Timmy Matero.
I think this is the greatest idea we've ever come up with.
This is gold.
I honestly, this will be fun.
This
Yeah.
is podcast gold.
Yeah.
Right here.
Good blast.
This will be fun. So let's talk real quick about the tournament this weekend. Leda Lanes had their first of their what do they call it? Triple Crown.
Triple Crown. Yep.
Yep.
Mhm.
So they had their 5-string event on Sunday. 15 people signed up. Tough day. You know, it was Father's Day, so it is a tough day for it.
It was
Hopefully
gorgeous out.
it was, and hopefully this
Yeah.
catches on like next year. So this turns into a yearly thing because it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
You know,
if it
Five,
wasn't nice out and everybody wasn't golfing, they'd probably have more people. But
5 strings in June, 10 strings in July, and then a 20 stringer in August. It is a cool idea, and if you really think about it, horse racing is very similar with the Kentucky Derby, the Preakness, and Belmont.
yeah,
In the fact that one of them is more of a sprint, one of them is more kind of that mid-level, and then there is the long race, and I think it's Belmont. I think it's the long one.
I have no idea.
I'm
not
not
sure.
sure.
yeah.
Belmont, I thought is the longest. I think.
That's what I thought. And I think the Preakness is the shortest, maybe. I don't know.
No, the Kentucky Derby is the sprint.
Oh, Kentucky Derby. Okay. So I just think it's cool. So congratulations, Chris Bovair.
Yeah, I heard he dominated.
He basically lapped the field. He was
Do
the
you
only
have
one.
any scores?
Yes, he was the only one over 600.
Wow.
So really looking forward to November in Leda.
Tough pins in there right now, guys.
Yep.
Tough pins in there right now.
So Chris was 674 with a 98 start.
Wow.
So he was
Jeez.
He was 98, 154, 126, 150, 146.
Yeah, I was that.
Outstanding.
674.
He should have bowled a practice game, man. Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second place was a midget not named Tim. Freshie.
Fresh.
He was 585.
Oh, I
Cool.
can hear that 585.
Oh, I can hear it. Oh, I can. Tied for third was Josh Daly at 581.
He's terrible.
Joe B. Anyone? Joe?
Maybe Joe Booley, who's
I-
Alexis Howard's significant other. The girl that
okay.
runs Leda right now. It might be him. I don't know another Joe B.
Okay. He was 581 as well. Cody A. Not
Got me on that one.
got me on that one. 570. Joey Lister was number 6 at 566, and number 7 was the legend himself, Jeff Surratt, at 565. Nice scores, Jeff. I'm really impressed with your middle three. You certainly didn't have me to carry you, obviously.
That was a good high.
118,
high five for
100,
Jeff.
106, 99, 142.
He probably hit
Congrats
the
on
head.
new high five.
He probably hit the head pin 24 out of 30 in those 30 bucks, those 3 strings. I promise you.
Not a chance.
Are they just making a weird noise right now, Marky? Are they just stiff? Is it
No,
like what's it like in there?
it's really rough. I can't explain it because I'm not exactly there, but we bowled the Pro League there on Fridays over the winter season, and pins just sounded dead. Many of them sounded broken. When you'd hit it, it'd make that like wet magic eraser sound. Like get a magic eraser, soak it with water, and then hit it with a bowling ball. And that's what a lot of the pins, they were rough, man. You know, they did try to help
It's
out
that
a few times.
slap.
A few times they dressed up the decks and scores got a little better, but you know, somebody's going to throw a ball overhand in November. That's all I'm saying. Somebody's going to overhand one.
No, Calvin's not there.
No, but DJ will be, and that's what scares me.
The worst part,
Yeah.
and here's the thing, I really like bowling at Leda. I like it there.
Yeah.
I think it's a cool house. It's got great food. It's got plenty of room. I like having, what is it, 18 and 18, or is it 20 and 20?
18
and 18.
I like having it that way. To me, it's cool. That
they have the best approaches in all of Candlepin.
I love their approaches.
They're just yummy to slide on. I don't know how else to. It's just so comfortable. You never stick. You don't slip out of it. It's just yummy. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's good for confidence. You know you can deliver your ball the same way every time.
One less big thing to worry about. Yeah.
So I really hope that between now and November they can figure out the pin issue.
They had them going at Easter. The scores from Easter looked good.
Because it was the second time during the season they dressed the decks up. I was there every Friday. It was rough.
I was just saying, like, it might be okay in November if they dress the decks. Like,
let's put it this way: nobody averaged 120 in the Pro League, the Pro Speed League. Nobody averaged 120. So say what you want about this, that, or the other thing. You had Sean Baker, Brian Fuller, Freshie, myself, Matt Susi, like Jeff Walsh, a whole bunch of guys that average 120, and none of us averaged 120. None of us. Nobody averaged 119. I think the highest we got up to was either Baker or Fuller at like 18.
Fuller was 18.7, I think.
That's about
right. 18.6, something like that.
None of us averaged 120.
I enjoy bowling there. I just hope that, like I said, I hope the pin thing is a little bit better.
I agree. It was one of my favorite houses in the world to bowl league at. I used to live in Waltham, a little suburb just outside of Boston.
Yep.
And I was driving up to Nashua twice a week just to bowl 2 leagues a week there because I absolutely loved bowling there.
Yeah.
And things have changed.
Yeah.
I wish we could have been at this point in the COVID stuff like 6 months ago, because then I'd be a lot more comfortable with coming down in November. But at this point, they're still not opening the borders until like the end of July.
Yeah.
At best. So
I mean, Maine is doing, like, today was what, 3rd day in a row that they had.
We had 18 cases today, and we've had no cases in our county in 4 days.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why they were talking about, New Brunswick was talking about opening the border to it.
Yeah.
But our big head honcho said, no, that's a federal decision. You can't make that decision. Okay.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the first round there.
Mm-hmm.
When is
Marky,
the next one, Tim?
I have no idea. Sometime I know it's sometime in July. I tried to find the
schedule,
the list,
the
schedule, and I couldn't. It
was a post that Alexis made herself. Alexis Boone made herself. Howard.
Yes.
It wasn't on Leda's main page, so I don't know. Maybe it's back on her page somewhere.
Yeah. So I'll have to.
It's on Candlepin Chat, I believe.
Was it in the chat?
Yeah. Well, I was on Candlepin Chat, and I just couldn't find it. But we'll keep looking for it. See if we can't find it and get that out there.
Yeah.
Eventually, I think people are working on is trying to get a Candlepin calendar that would have a running list of all the tournaments and things like that, which would be.
Yeah.
That's another thing. Actually,
Yes.
Alexis has already done. There's an email list that she has.
Yes.
At least I've gotten it the last couple months.
Jess,
I would
Jess
look at my
Bain
phone,
takes
but-
care of that for us.
Yeah.
She's got a Nova Scotia New Brunswick calendar, and that includes basically every tournament that goes through, even the men's worlds and all that stuff. She takes care of that. She does a pretty good job with that.
Well,
Jesse Bain. I miss Jess.
It's important. I mean, there's so many different tournaments that people want to do.
Yeah.
You know, there are more people coming down, like going to Massachusetts from Maine lately over the last several months. There are more people from Massachusetts that are coming up to tournaments in Maine. People want to bowl tournaments.
Now they do. Yeah,
They do.
now that they haven't been able to for a year and a half.
As much as we pissed and moaned, we missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
We did. I did.
It sucks when it's taken away from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Brian can tell you, I was on the verge of just getting done altogether. Like I was getting burnt out.
Tim hated bowling.
And like in the last 6 to 8 months, it's like made a resurgence as far as I'm concerned with me, where I have a whole new appreciation of going to tournaments and seeing people and, and bowling. Maybe it's because I can finally bowl halfway decent again. I don't know, but
it's good. It's almost like, we all got the video game put on pause for like a year and a half, and everybody could just chill about it for a minute. Everything you hated, or if you were getting burned out about it, you had a chance to just walk away from it for a while and actually get the chance to miss it again.
Yeah.
And I think that was a big one. People just didn't have it. You could look at your bowling balls anytime you wanted to, but you could never go and use them. And it just took a long time for people to just get that fire back that they wanted it back. And now that things are, at least down here, opening up pretty regularly for the most part, it's starting to come back. And we were counting on this as those of us who ran places, that at the end of all of this, that there would be a resurgence of people coming back. Just give the people something to do, and they will come. They'll come, they'll bring their stuff, they'll play, they'll keep your machines working, they'll put money in the register, and everybody will be happy again.
If you open it, they will come.
If you open, they will come.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
So Marky, you weren't here unfortunately last week. So let's give us your take on the mixed tournament, the mixed worlds and Candlepins for Cancer mixed international, national. I don't know what it's being called this year.
The majority of us, it was kind of like mixed nationals.
Yeah.
We didn't get to have our friends from up north coming in and joining in, and all the chicanery and shenanigans that go with all of that. But it was a good tournament. I thought it was well run. It was good to see a packed bowling alley again. We bowled the national championships, I guess we'd call them, back in November in Portsmouth, and it was odd.
Yes.
It was close, but it was odd. Like we skipped every pair, and there were nowhere near as many people, and it had no Worlds vibe whatsoever to it, except for the shirts that we were wearing, in my opinion. They were like glorified Friday Pro League matches. But this past weekend at the Mixed Worlds, well, 2 weekends ago, I should say at this point, it felt real. Like it felt like a Worlds tournament. It felt like the Mixed Worlds that we had from long ago, even when our friends from up north were here, because there was 18 teams strong. We took up almost the entire center section of the bowling alley. Like it had a cool feel again. There was all kinds of people in the well, and it got hot, and people were sticking, and they were and it felt like more of a Worlds type tournament than even Portsmouth did. I was very happy to see that, with the women, with this being the mix, there was a lot of ladies that even we hadn't seen in a long time that were back. There was a couple of young ones that got into the tournament for the first time. I had 2 of them on my team, but it was good to see young ladies like Kat Alteriso and Natasha Hussey, and the girls on my team, Sharon Britton and Heather Twombly. It was good to see these girls get their first taste of a major, because I look at these as a major. Like I look at the 20 stringer as a major, the Worlds as a major, the Mixed Worlds as like a major. And then we have other tournaments, you know, like you equate it to like the PGA Tour kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Where there's like a once a month Pro Series stop or a major house tournament somewhere. But then we go to these tournaments that have like, you know, the logo, like, you know, the ICC from a few years ago. That's a Worlds, that's a major. And the Mixed Worlds, like these are majors.
Yeah.
And to see some of these young ones come up and perform and do well, mixed in with us wily, crazy veterans who've been doing this for 10 plus years. It added a cool dynamic, and it was cool to see because there was a lot of them. Again, the people that might have done a league over the winter, but hadn't done a big tournament, and this was their first big tournament back. And you could tell, even on the veterans, the people who've been there 20, 30 years, the smile was there. Yeah. There was a fire that was there. I want to win the tournament, not just compete now. We're not just, oh, we're all just not having fun. No, everybody's going out and trying to get it done. And that element was back, and that felt real, and that felt good.
I can think right off the top of my head of at least 8 to 10 new female bowlers for what we would call a major tournament.
Yep.
And there were quite a few new male bowlers that may bowl. You know, you see them on Candlepin Chat or on the scores of the week, you know, posting, but they may not bowl many big tournaments. They bowl house tournaments, things like that. So it was good to see them, you know, really. I got to echo, Marky, what you said. It felt real.
It did. For the first time in almost 2 years, year and a half, however you want to look at it.
Yeah.
This tournament felt like a major, and we know what the majors feel like. We've all had the ball in our hands at the Worlds. We've all been there at the Mixed Worlds. We've all bowled the 20 stringer. We've all bowled the singles knockout up at the Worlds. It's a different element when you have the ball in your hand there, not necessarily in the ninth to win the match, but just stepping up on the approach in a major and not just going to like I run the King of the River here every Sunday morning. It's not a major. That's a little housey thing where I make fun of my buddies and I drink coffee the whole day. It's different. This is a major where people paid top dollar to be there. You're on a team that's competing for a title. It's got a little more like chutzpah to it, right? Like a little more fire in the belly to go get it done. And I felt that for the first time in a year and a half, and it felt good.
Yeah,
it felt really good.
And there was some really good matches. Like
there was.
I'm trying to think. I didn't see many what I would term blowouts, because obviously being single string matches, anything can happen with a single string. I saw a few, obviously, because you're going to see that anywhere. But most I thought were really entertaining and very competitive.
Competitive is the word.
Yes.
There was so much good competitive matches. It was silly. You know, you can look at that and say, well, because the pins were really quirky and they didn't fall over very easily. There weren't 700s. There wasn't any 730s thrown. And I don't care if you could say, well, the ladies, I don't care. The ladies are putting up numbers too. You can still throw a 700 in a Mixed Worlds atmosphere. We've seen it happen many, many times. But with the nature of the conditions that we bowled under, they just set up the matches to be good, competitive, where more often than not, it didn't come down to who got the strikes or the spin. It came down to who got the 9s and 10s.
Yeah.
Who did not leave the 5s and 6 boxes up there. Who checked out the last 2 or 3 pins for the 9 or the 10 box. So many matches during the course of the week were won and lost by 15 pins. Over the course of 5 people and 10 boxes each, that's 50 boxes here. And we're talking about matches that were less than 20 pins apart from each other. That's less than a pin a box. That's one good third ball out of each person per game. Yeah. Those were the teams that won. Those were the teams that cashed.
And the other cool part that once I kind of thought about the weekend and everything else, that was really kind of neat to see was the last string. What was it? 16 strings? Yeah, 16 strings.
17 games. 18 teams, 17 games.
Yeah. The 17th string still meant something for first place, second place, third place, down through 7th place. Like the money they paid 4 spots, and there was 7 teams,
something like that.
Something like that.
I think 7 or 8. I think
I know that.
It was like,
wow. Going into the very last game of the tournament, my team bowled Josh Daly's team with Craig Holbrook on that team, JoJo.
Yeah.
And that match where whoever won that match was going to finish in fourth in cash.
No, third.
Oh,
You would have
third.
moved. You would have moved
Yeah.
up to third.
Whoever
Yeah.
won that match was going to cash. This is how we kind of understood it. I didn't know the numbers, but whoever won that match was cashing, and whoever lost that match had the potential to fall to sixth or seventh.
Yes.
Yeah, which you guys did.
Mm-hmm.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I went out and completely sucked and daily annihilated my
Which
face.
you did.
And I,
Yeah, but
I
they-
hit the head pin
hey,
a few times, but I didn't matter what I did.
give
Daly
Daly
put the hammer
credit.
down and
Give Daly
Yeah.
credit on that. He
He
threw the second biggest string of the tournament in the 17th string. Because didn't he throw that? Wasn't it a 166?
162.
Said
Four,
two.
six?
62
No,
or
I
64.
had 162. Tim
Yeah.
Douglas had 169.
Then it was 64.
64.
I think
Okay.
he threw
Yeah.
64. Yeah, right in my
So
grill.
he did
was
that
beautiful.
in the very last string
Mhm.
when it mattered. And that was the other cool thing, was you saw people doing things in positions that they're not used to being in.
Right.
For example, Josh Daly, hell of a ball, hell of a bowler, and has arguably one of the top young male bowlers in the sport right now.
Agreed.
Arguably.
Mhm.
You
Yep.
can argue that. Bowl and anchor all weekend long
Not just
On
bowling
Holbrook's
anchor,
team.
but bowled anchor with Craig Holbrook
with Craig
on
Holbrook.
his team. That's
Yeah.
a testament to Craig as well, a man who's been around the block
Yep.
3 times and has 3 different size T-shirts to prove it.
Yep.
He's been there and done that. And he's been able to recognize that Josh has something about him, something really sexy
Yep.
about him and that left arm of his. At this point, even in his young career, that even now, being as young as he is, not all of us had our heads together about us when we were 19 or 20 years old. It didn't happen to me until I was almost 30, and half of it still hadn't happened, and I'm almost 40. But he's managed to pull himself together and pull it together when it mattered at the very end.
Yep.
You make your captain look great by that. You make yourself look good, and you made the team look great thirdly.
Yep. And I want to talk about your team for a second, because there were 2 teams that really surprised me for the weekend in a positive way, I would say.
Mhm.
One was Stars and Stripes.
Very much so.
They
Those guys, yeah.
came out of, I'm not going to say they came out of nowhere, because they're all good bowlers. Every single one of them. Argue you have 2 of the better male bowlers in the state of Maine, and you can argue that they are 2 of the top 4 bowlers with Chris Merrill and Cole Fry.
Mhm.
Okay. And then for the women, you had Shannon Scribner, who is, again, arguably one of the top female bowlers, and probably is the top female bowler in the state of Maine right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
But after that, you had people really step up. A Cliff Walker, a Mike Jakes, things like that, who really, like, I'm not going to say they bowled over their head, because they're all good bowlers, but they stepped up. And they finished in second. They lost the last string. We won our last string again. But your team really, and you and I had this conversation before the tournament even started, that, you had no expectations going in.
No, I didn't.
Because you had 2 brand new female bowlers, young. What are they, both 18? Something like
19.
that?
They're both 19. They would have been getting out. They would have both just gotten out of juniors this past season that would have just ended. They were both robbed of their last 2 years, basically. So it was time to come to the adults.
I absolutely loved what you did.
Loved
what you did with them. They bowled fantastic. I know they struggled at times, but the coolest thing was our match that we had. You put, was it Heather? Is that Heather? Hey. Heather?
Yeah, hey.
Okay.
Which a lifelong nickname was born. Quick little backstory. We all know in bowling it's hard. You don't give yourself a nickname. You kind of get it bestowed on you from some random thing you did at the hotel or whatever.
Yeah.
They turned on the sheets, and this girl Heather on my team, Heather Twombly, they put her name in as Hey, Hey. So literally, we all just started calling her Hey, and it just caught on. Everybody in the bowling alley started calling her Hey. I was like, "Do you like that nickname?" And she goes, "It's not bad." I'm like, Well, it's there forever now.
It's
sorry.
Yeah,
It's
you
there
better
forever
land
now.
now.
That is your nickname, period, at this point.
Now she led off, right?
No, Sharon was leading
Oh,
off.
Sharon led. Okay, so Sharon led
Britton
off.
was leading off. Heather bowled second.
Okay.
And then I think Mikey, Joey, and then Matt. I didn't
Yeah.
bowl that game because I was god-awful. The game before.
Well, you were scared because you were bowling me, and I know I get it, Marky. You were scared to bowl me because we were going to have a pleasant match. And
We were, but I know that you look up to me, and I didn't want you to have to look up to me while we were actually bowling.
Dude, I look up to
so
everybody.
I just took myself out.
Yeah.
I know.
I
It's
mean,
not just the
I
bowling.
was thinking of you.
The coolest part was we had Maddie leading off.
Yep.
Every match.
Yep.
And it was so cool that Shannon led off for you guys. Sharon. Okay,
Yep.
sorry.
Sharon led off and she did bowl against Madison. Yes.
She bowled against Maddie, and she was smiling after every box. Same with Heather. They were smiling after. It didn't matter to them if they made the shot or missed the shot.
Well, see, they know Madison.
Yeah.
Madison coaches in the Academy Lanes Junior League program. Madison, not long ago, was coaching Sharon and Heather.
Okay.
Because Madison's already graduated out of the Kids League now a couple years, and Madison gives her time on Saturday mornings at the Kids League down at Academy in Haverhill. And so she has watched these girls been coming up too. Now, Madison, she is different. She's young, but she has more experience than 90% of the people her age. Her progeny and just growing up in the bowling alley just gives you that extra leg up on most everybody else. It's a fact. You can't really deny it. But her watching Sharon and Heather having grown up the last couple of years and been their coach, now she sees these girls finally being there because it's really difficult as a woman, because people understand in the mixed worlds, we've said it before, and I'll believe it as long as I'm in the tournament, the women win that tournament for your team.
Sure.
1,000%.
Absolutely. The men, we have matches against each other. More often than not, the guys wash out, and it's the difference between the ladies that ends up taking the string or not taking the string.
Yeah.
More often than not, you as a captain would look at getting the best women you can find for that one reason.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Which is a sound strategy. However, the young ones will always get left out of that equation. And I look at it this way. How are the young ones supposed to get the experience if they don't get the shot?
Yep.
Now, I'm not saying that every one of them deserves that shot, but like we've seen a few of the studs come out of the juniors, right? We've seen kids like Johnny Boudreau, Mike McGinty, Josh Daly, and up in Maine, we've seen Shannon Scribner. Okay, amongst others, those just a couple quick four that I mentioned, young ones that have come out and made an impact. If they didn't get that chance to come out of the juniors and make an impact right away, I mean, well, naturally, I shouldn't say it that way. They were most likely going to get that chance because of who they were and how studly they were when they were in the kids. People already heard about them up in the pro ranks where we bowl. If you take the other ones that had been maybe just under those studs, the ones who were chasing the studs, the ones who know how to get it done, but just can't seem to get that last bit of either experience or attention, and they always feel like they're in second, you got to give them a chance to get out there and prove their mettle too. I've been coaching Sharon for over 2 years now. I'm good friends with her father, Lane, and I've watched Sharon come into my bowling alley 2 years ago, averaging 85, and now I watch her bowling in the adult leagues here, averaging 104. Heather, I've known for a long time. She's Austin Barnes' girlfriend. Heather, whatever the hell you're doing, get away from that kid. I'm telling you now. Just get away. I love Austin, but just for your own self, just get away from the kid. Just kidding, Austin. I love you. But I've seen Heather bowl. She has the ball. One of the two things that impressed me about these two women, they're not afraid to throw the ball. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I see a lot of the women that should probably throw the ball a skosh harder to help their impact, to help their pins, to help their actions, and they don't for whatever reason. Sharon and Heather throw the ball with everything they got. Not so hard that it's ridiculous, but they also don't throw the little tiny slow roller, little tiny thing.
Yeah.
They get the ball there with an intent.
Yep.
It doesn't have to be with maximum velocity. It has to be with intent. And I saw these two, and I knew they were ready to do something. And sometimes somebody just has to open the door before you can just go walking right through it.
It was cool, Marky.
I was so proud of watching them. Thank you very much, Tim. I appreciate it.
Look, let's face it. Calvin, Brian, you and I, we've seen a lot of frickin' bowling in our life.
Fact.
Okay.
Way too much.
A lot.
No shit.
I am 50 years old in just over a month.
Mhm.
I have seen a lot of bowling. To see the young bowlers like that coming off smiling. Yeah, they missed a shot. Yeah, they had a bad box, but they didn't let it get to them.
They haven't
Nope.
had enough years.
No,
Well,
and maybe that's it.
I mean, and we got blown out in that match. We lost that match by a solid 40, 50 pins. We were winning after like 4 boxes. We were up on you guys by like 30 or 40.
Yeah.
But then you guys came back and just closed the match out and we finished.
Yeah.
But one thing I was really trying to teach them was not necessarily like go out there and win everything. I remember telling the both of them, look, if we lose a game, this is a good opportunity to deal with how to lose in a professional environment where it is just a one-string match. If you lose, don't carry it over with you to the next match because the next match is on a totally different lane, totally different pins against a totally different opponent. Yeah. This is a good way to teach them how to like just go out, get a breath of fresh air, grab a drink, grab a soda or something, refresh yourself, and then get back to the next task at hand. Instead of carrying that baggage of, oh, we lost. You know, it helped that we did win more than we lost. But at the same time, when we lost, I never saw them getting down on themselves, you know, just kind of throwing the ball away. The hell with it. And they carried themselves so well for their first tryout that I would bowl with either one of them again in a professional setting like that. It
was cool. Again, I thought it was cool. You know, Natasha Hussey, that was her first tournament. Brian, what's McClendon? Casey McClendon?
Cassidy.
Cassidy
McClendon.
McClendon.
Oh my God.
She threw great. She threw great.
A great ball.
Stars and Strikes, I think. Right, Brian?
Stars and Strikes ball.
Stars and Strikes, yeah. She bowls with Jenna and Kerrigan, and then they all came up together.
And of course, Kerrigan, I mean, again, another really solid young bowler who's got a ton of potential.
She seems a little further ahead than some of the other girls.
Well,
she seems up on Shannon's level to an extent.
She's getting there. You know, it helps that both her mother, her stepmother and father, Zach and Renee, obviously bowl in all these tournaments. She's been exposed to some of the higher level tournaments, bowling with Mark Carrier, things like that.
She bowled in the Women's Worlds in November the last time they had it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It was cool.
A great weekend, though. It was really, really fun. With Nate taking it back over next year, they're trying to get it back up to 24 teams again, the same way it was. Hopefully, our friends from up north can come back down and see Calvin and see Corey.
I'd like to see it go up to Canada.
I would love to see it go up to Canada. He did not say anything about how it was going to stay in a house. So it can travel. This can travel.
I'd love to see it in Canada.
I'd love to see it.
How many lanes?
I'd love to drive up to Canada and it not snow.
Kingswood has 20 automatic lanes right now.
They're at 20.
I don't know what they're, but they still have the 30 lanes in there.
But Moncton still has
the have to shut it off.
Moncton's still the whole house, right? They still got 36 up there.
36, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a few places.
Yep.
That it could
I don't know. I just think it would be fun. It'd be cool. I like going up. I like going up to Canada to bowl.
We could do. I doubt this would ever happen, but we could do what we're trying to do. We have our mixed provincials, the one that I've talked about before, and it used to be so big that we actually had to use 3 different houses. So we had 5 divisions. We had A, B, C, D, E, and there's usually 18 or 19 teams per division.
Jesus.
So there used to be, it was almost like 100 teams, and it would be a whole weekend. You usually bowled Friday, or Thursday night, depending on how many teams you had. You bowled Thursday night, all day Friday, all day Saturday, 2 strings Sunday, and then your playoffs were 3 strings or 2 strings. Just top 4 make playoffs from each division.
Yeah.
And it's so to get something maybe like that where we could split it up into 2 or 3 houses for a whole weekend would be interesting. Because in Moncton,
be so cool.
Because in Moncton we have all 3 houses, which are basically 15 minutes from each other. Either way, right?
Dieppe.
Moncton, Dieppe, and Riverview. Riverview only has 12
Riverview's
lanes.
still open?
Well, they've been bought out,
I know
and
Kelly and
yeah,
Rich left.
and they're turning it into a brewery bowling alley type thing, like they did with the Bowladrome in Fredericton. So
Very cool.
Yeah. So I think they're keeping that at 12 lanes, and they're redoing it because it hasn't had much work in the last 15 or 20 years.
Yeah.
So, if we get that up, hopefully, and then we can move it and have 3 houses, and that would be
That'd be pretty sweet. That'd be pretty fun.
But even Nate was saying he's open to options.
Yes, the Alpine. That's what it's still called.
Okay.
The Alpine Mixed Provincials. Yeah.
Well, Nate had said he's open to options of anything that can make the tournament better because Nate Lees is running the tournament now.
Yep, Deb DeRosia handed it over to Nate.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
Nate's a real close friend of mine who has nothing but the best interest of the tournament in mind. So any good suggestions, send them over to Nate Lees.
I would like to see Bangor get a shot at it, only because they were supposed to have it last year and it got canceled.
I'm always good with Bangor. I'm 1-0. So
I mean, you son of a. Anyway, let's we got about roughly 5 minutes or so. Let's get to one of these, at least one of these questions or 2 of these questions, because we've got like 5 or 6, so we're not going to get to them all. The first one, Brian, I'm going to start with you on this one, and we're gonna go with everybody here. How the hell was this worded? Out of you 4. Who would you put in the last 2 boxes of a close match to win the match? And I know the answer. The answer,
Pass.
every single one of us is going to say each other. You know what I mean? Calvin's going to say Calvin. Marky, you're going to say yourself. I'm going to say. I mean,
well, all 3 of us have been anchormen.
Yes.
All 3 of us have had the ball in our hand when it mattered.
Yes.
And we've all come through. But yet we've also all failed at some point.
Correct.
Brian, your answer.
You ain't gonna hurt my feelings, bro.
You're not gonna hurt mine.
You're not gonna hurt.
You know that.
Honestly, Tim, just because of how many times I've seen him do it.
Okay,
Either on the team or against the team, or
I'll Venmo you later.
Yeah.
I knew there was something to that. I knew that was some bullshit. We're trying to be nice to each other here, and Tim's like, "All right, I'll send you that $20." Later.
Yeah.
Fuck, I was being a realist.
Brian got that question in advance. What kind of journalism is this?
Yeah.
Calvin?
Completely unbiased. Safe first.
Sadly, I'd have to say Tim. I feel really bad about it, but sadly, I'd have to say Tim. I'd put Tim in the last 2 boxes. I'd have to give him a 15-pin lead, so I'd be in the 4-hole giving him a 15-pin lead.
Thank you.
But I'll give him the ball.
This did not say how big of a lead that I would have. I know I can hold a 20-pin lead. I've done that.
I'll get you that.
Yeah.
I'm giving the ball to Calvin.
Oh,
not because of any other reason. He's Canadian.
Oh,
and the Canadians have that Canadian luck when it comes down to the end that they just throw strikes out of literal nowhere.
Yeah, like I did to you in 2000.
I don't even remember that anymore. All right.
Robbie Hopper did to us in 2018.
I don't even remember that anymore.
2018. Yeah, 2018 Worlds. Did you guys miss the playoffs?
Yeah, because Robbie just took 4 steps, hucked it, and threw a strike.
No, that wasn't that. Robbie wasn't with us.
That was Academy.
No.
Yeah, it was because my son was born that year. I remember that World
was at Academy.
But he wasn't on your team.
Robbie wasn't on our team.
No, he wasn't on your team.
So I think it was 2016. Yeah, it was 2016. We were coming down to the last box, and I think I was bowling you, Tim, because you had subbed out from Mark Carrier. Mark Carrier was anchor, and then they put you anchor because
I wasn't on the team that year. That was
no,
Mark's
you were.
What year was this?
16 at Lakeside.
So 16 at Lakeside.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was a.
You threw a 7. You threw a 7 box in the 10th box, and
Probably.
I needed to strike the tie, and I just obliterated it.
Probably.
Like I'm going with the Canadian luck. I'm going with the Canadian luck in the 9th and 10th. I've seen it happen too many times.
I have to pick anybody. Oh.
I'm actually going to go with Marky on this one.
Would you really now?
Yeah, I would. And I'll tell you why.
Thanks, buddy.
No, I'll tell you why. All of us have done it. I've done it. Calvin's done it. I've seen Brian do it. I've seen you do it. I think right now you're the one that's still bowling the most, and you're the one that's still.
Well, we're not talking right now. We're talking hypothetical.
I said right now.
Hey, Calvin, shut your fucking mouth. That was just nice to you. Let him be nice to me for 3 seconds.
I'm being nice to Marky. Now, that's going to lead me to this next question, and this person did say this was a two-part question. If you were to be on a 4-person team with us 4,
Okay.
how would you set your lineup? And Calvin, I'll start with you.
Me, Brian, Mark, you.
You lead off?
Yeah.
Okay. Brian?
Me, Calvin, Marky, you.
Marky?
I would lead. Brian would bowl second. Calvin would bowl third, and Tim, you'd be the anchorman.
I'm going with Marky on this one.
Really, because everybody else picked themselves to lead off.
Everybody
else picked themselves to lead off.
I would put Marky first, and I'll tell you why. Because in every year that Calvin's won, he's bowled in that 4th spot. He's bowled in the
setup guy. It's a setup
the setup guy spot.
The 8th.
So that's why I would put him in the 3rd spot. So, and I'll bowl anywhere as long as it's anchor. So.
Right, exactly.
God,
so look forward to episode 69 of Ripping the Rack podcast.
Yeah.
When we discuss Tim's illustrious career and we roast the shit out of him like a cashew.
Yes. So we will not get to the rest of these questions. We will get to these questions in next week's episode. Calvin, this is now the reason why you now see why we never or hardly ever got to questions. When you would complain, oh, you had questions, you didn't even answer any questions.
You're right.
Now you see why.
I didn't say a word all episode.
I know, it's the best episode we've had
for
a long time.
Yeah, I am watching the hockey.
He's Canadian. He's watching a hockey game. Leave him alone. It's what they do.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks.
There's a hockey game outside his house right now.
Probably.
A couple kids are outside in rollerblades, street hockey.
Please, 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 please. More questions, comments. Your concerns about Brian and his OnlyFans account can go to rippingtherackpodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at rippingtherackpodcast. You will not find us on OnlyFans. You will find Brian on OnlyFans. And the last thing is, again, 60-second videos or audio recordings, whichever way you want to do it. Send it to Ripping the Rack Podcast for episode 69, The Roast of Tim Matero.
Yes.
Brian, where else can they?
Cannot wait for that.
Where else can they see us or hear us?
Well, they can hear us on Spotify, Anchor Breaker, iTunes, iHeartRadio, and wherever else you listen to your podcasts.
Excellent. Thank you. Calvin, great job today.
Thank you.
You did wonderful just sitting there looking pretty.
I thought it was great. That's what I'm here for. I'm here for the looks.
Excellent.
Classing the place up a little bit.
Definitely classing the place up. You will hear us Friday morning. Same bat channel, same bat time. We will talk about whatever, anything other than Candlepin Bowling. And you can listen to Marky and Brian on a special. I'll let you plug it, guys, real quick.
Excuse me. So, Brian and I, otherwise known as the Coastal Crusader and the Masshole Marky Pins, we will be flying out to Denver, Colorado in 3 days' time at this point to be a part of Rocky Mountain Pro Wrestling's Milestone Weekend, which is their WrestleMania level event. We will be on Rocky Mountain Pro's channel on Twitch, so check them out, twitch.tv/Rocky Mountain Pro. You will see Brian and I actually competing in the ring Friday night in the Royal Rumble event called the Colorado Cup. You will see Brian, myself, Johnny Stana, Johnny Deathdrop, the Sunday Night Savior, Jeff Walsh, and Triple I, the Infinite Indian Idiot, Inspirational Ignoramus, Josh Riopel. Wait, that's Quintuple I. Maybe we should change his name. But we will be on the commentary desk for the pre-show of both events. Friday night, starting at, I believe, 6 o'clock Eastern. And Saturday, I believe, at 6 o'clock Eastern. I'm not sure if it's Eastern or 7 o'clock Eastern. I'm
It's
not
6
sure.
o'clock
but check us out.
Eastern, and
It will be 6.
I think it's 6 o'clock.
There is
Or
a
it'll be
2
4
hour
o'clock
time
Eastern,
difference.
6 o'clock Mountain.
Okay,
for
yeah.
both pre-shows, because both events start at 8. It's 2 hour pre-shows.
Exactly. So we will be there causing chicanery and teaching people how to speak the Boston accent in Colorado.
At the Bierstock Lager House.
Yes.
In Denver, Colorado.
Yes.
Excellent. Guys, good luck. Please don't get hurt.
Please
Try
do
not
get
to.
hurt.
I bring my medical card with me in case I got to go to the hospital.
I hope
Yep.
someone gets to eliminate someone by throwing them over the top rope. That would be cool.
I will eliminate Marky. Okay.
I'm going to go into business for myself. I'm eliminating Coastal. He's gone.
That's awesome.
He's gone. Everybody loves the
You know
David
what?
and Goliath story.
It's-
I hope
it's-
we're in
Get
there
him
at the
over
same
the top
time by
rope.
ourselves.
What do they call it when you throw someone into the ropes? That's on a lariat, right? That's
It's an
the
Irish whip.
Lariat's a
Yeah.
the
closer.
Irish whip.
Yep.
So, okay, Marky, you Irish whip him into the ropes. He comes off. You come down. Up and over he goes.
Absolutely. It'll be the easiest thing I've done all day.
I just
Listen.
said this on Sunday night. I have to be wary of that big guy where he runs and then the little guys grab that rope and they fall down. You got to be careful of that in a battle royal.
Yes, you do. Good luck. All right.
Thank you, sir.
Peace out, guys. We'll see ya.